Hi, I'm Angie from Inland Professional Title, and this week we are going to talk about the differences in dates that are on your purchase and sale agreement. There seems to be some confusion of signing date versus closing date versus possession date, so I thought I'd review what the purchase and sale agreement actually says. So on the first page of the purchase and sale, it has a place for closing date, and then it has a place for possession date, and there's an area to check. It's either on closing or on other. And so recently I've had quite a few people ask, what are the differences between all these dates? So I thought I would cite some things from the actual Northwest MLS Form 21 Purchase and Sale Agreement to kind of get a correction out there of what the dates are. So the signing date, that is going to be the date that you would come into the closer's office to sign your documents. And normally that date is, we hope, 1 or 2 days prior to the actual closing date that is on the front page of your purchase and sale agreement. And let me explain the differences on the date. So the signing date is the day you go in, you sign your documents, you deposit your funds. The documents get notarized. They're prepared by their closer and your lender both, and they are then held by the closer and processed back to the lender and to the title company, so the recording can happen on the closing date. So the closing date that's on your purchase and sale agreement is the date the documents are recorded and the funds are ready for the seller. Possession date. Possession date can be other than the closing date. The seller might have asked for an extra 5 days or 1 day or whatever it may be. And so there may be a different date on your purchase and sale agreement other than closing date that was agreed upon date prior when you actually did the purchase and sale agreement on when you would be taking occupancy of the property. Now, the purchase and sale agreement has a term on the second page that talks about possession date, and it states on there, seller shall deliver keys and garage door remotes to the buyer on the closing date or on the possession date, whichever occurs first. Buyer shall be entitled to possession at 9 p.m. on the possession date. Now 9 p.m. is a no later than time. Most people want to have keys early in the day as they possibly can with the moving vans and all the helpers you have arranged. But the 9 p.m. date is just a no later than date to give the sellers adequate time to move out. But normally what will happen when you come in on closing, your agent has already discussed this with the other agent and the seller on when is going to be the appropriate time to tell the purchaser that they can expect to get the keys. And remember, it all is based on when is it going to record and fund. So if you have an early in the day closing, they're able to get it down to the courthouse to get it recorded in time, and then the lender wires the funds to the closer's trust account so they can cut all the checks so it can be ready to give the seller their proceeds check. That could possibly happen, 12 o'clock till maybe 2 o'clock. There's no wires after 2 o'clock. So normally if you're going to have that happen on that particular day, based on the funding, it'll be prior to 2 o'clock. And then the key arrangement will be made through your realtors. So when you come to closing, remember, you're not going to get your keys or to your signing appointment. Let me further change that. Signing appointment, you're not going to get keys, and your closer really doesn't know when your possession date will be, because that is something you really do need to arrange with your agent, who will then arrange it with the other agent and the seller. Thank you for using IPT, and we look forward to talking to you next week. Next week's subject is going to be all about the, let's see, let me look at my list here. It will be about what to bring to closing for sellers and for purchasers for that big appointment that you're going to have. Thank you.